So, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today I'll be your host, Daniela from the DP1, and we have a guest athlete here. So, could you start off by quickly introducing yourself? So, like, what's your name, where are you from, what sport you play, and maybe the favorite part of your profession?
Yeah, so nice to meet you, everyone. And yeah, my name is Phil. That's a short for Filip, actually. I'm turning 26 next week, actually, and I'm from Slovakia. I play ice hockey since my early childhood, almost 21 years now. And yeah, that's what I do.
Wow, well, happy early birthday to you. And
Yeah, thanks very much.
okay, so when and how did you become interested in hockey?
I mean, it was just out of the blue, you know. When you're 5, you don't think about things that much. So yeah, I guess my parents. I was on the ice rink, suddenly, you know, started to skate, and that's it. Like that's how I started. That's how I'm going.
So, did they encourage you to start?
Yeah, of course. Like they wanted me to do something actually, not just to, you know, like go to school, go home, not do anything. Like they wanted me to actually have some, you know, hobbies at first, and then it turned to job actually.
Understandable. But why not like a more common sport like basketball or football?
Yeah.
What was-
I mean, it's in my country it's pretty much common. Like it's more. I can see it's more popular than here. But actually, I mean, we're playing. Yeah, we're in Lithuania right now, but we're playing Latvian. So that's where actually hockey is popular, pretty much. So yeah, that's the reason. I mean, in Slovakia, hockey in Slovakia is most of the time is #1 sport. So
That's very
yeah,
interesting.
for us like Slovakians, it's popular. It's not a question like it's not popular sport, you know.
Yeah, because like in Lithuania, if you tell someone I play ice hockey, they'll be like,
Yeah.
that's so
Like,
surprising.
people are surprised most of the time, but if you get to talk to them like a little bit more, they understand your choices. You know why, where, things like that. So
Okay. So, when did you know that hockey was your passion? Like this is the thing that you want to do for your career?
I mean, I guess you start to feel those things right away. You know, like you imagine anything you do, you start to do it, and you know right away like you like it, you do not like it. But yeah, like beginnings were hard. You have to learn to skate, and you have to learn how to handle the stick and everything. You have to handle the pain. You know, you fall on your knee, that hurts. But it was like subconscious. You know, I was just happy to be on the ice, play with the puck. You know, score goals, make sure they don't score on us.
So it was almost like a instant connection.
Yeah, it was right away. Like I loved it since the day one.
That's very great to hear. And when you were a teen, did you actually expect to make hockey your career? Did you have any other passions?
I mean, I used to like I played soccer a little bit when I was in I was elementary, I guess. I mean, like I quit because I played soccer, I played hockey, and I don't know if you guys know the sport, but I used to play floorball also.
Yeah, we know it.
And that's like that was like back then. It's gonna be almost 10 years now that I quit too, but it's pretty popular in Slovakia, and it started to grow back then. But you know, for me it was like I was playing hockey since 5, and I just felt like, okay, maybe I'm pretty good at it actually, so I'll try to make a living out of it, you know, to just, you know, I didn't want to waste it. Maybe I was even a bit better in floorball actually, but you just can't, you know, like you're not making any money there. It's just, I mean, hats off to all the guys. I know many of guys that play it, but they're just not making money, and they're like world class players, you know. And it was not for me. You know, I wanted to do what I love, but also I wanted to feel like something's getting back to me.
I actually have a pretty similar story with floorball. I used to play it in PE, and that's actually the way I became interested in hockey.
Yeah.
I recently started playing
Yeah,
it too.
that's pretty similar. I mean, like the basics are similar.
Yeah, we're currently at that age where we're sort of thinking about our career, so it's great to see that you've had a very nice journey finding your career.
Yeah, I guess I was lucky. Yeah. Like, we're fortunate to do what we like, actually, you know, and get paid for that.
It's a very important thing to actually enjoy your career. But do you have any moments from your career that you still think about to this day, maybe a big success or?
Yeah, I mean, those, like, there are a couple of big breaks, you know, like negatives, but also positives. I mean, I try to not think about negatives, but like, I mean, the biggest thing is like first game with pros, you know, and like those steps like that. I mean, I remember playing back in my hometown. It was like a monumental game, you know, when we had special jerseys and stuff. It was like that was awesome, you know. I was 19-year-old, so yeah, 9-year-old, yeah. That was like huge. I was like, oh my god, I made it. Then that's when I realized, you know, like that actually means something.
Seems like a very great memory.
Yeah, of course.
Could you share maybe a funny or interesting story that happened between you and an opponent player? It could be something like maybe trash talking or wholesome.
Oh, I mean, yeah, like it's when you talk to the opposition, it's either you either trash talking or you're joking. There's like nothing in between, you know. I mean, there's like a lot of chirping and stuff, like some words I cannot even use here, you know. But yeah, it's just too much. I mean, like, just pops out that you just tell someone that learn to skate, you know. Like, he's been playing hockey for 20 years and you tell him to skate, to learn how to skate. That's like, you know, many things can happen, you know. Somebody just falls on the ice and then you just yell at him, laugh at him, like just saying, why are you kneeling, you know? And like you're playing those mind games all the time, but usually at that moment it's not that funny when you think about it after. And on the other hand, like most of the time you have to be there to actually appreciate that moment and laugh about it, you know?
Does it ever get out of hand? Like,
many times. Like, you get frustrated, you get whatever, you know, like maybe referees call something wrongly, you know, and you just, yeah, like it can get chaotic.
yeah. So we saw that you played in 3 different countries, so Slovakia, France, and now you're playing in Lithuania. How was the adaptation to France like?
It was different, but yeah, I mean, I traveled before, you know, for vacation trips. I actually never been to France before I got there for the first time, as to play hockey actually, and yeah, you see, it's people have a different way of living the life, different mindset, different traditions, things like that. So. But I mean, I love those things. Like I love to experience new stuff. So I was just trying to, you know, gain as much knowledge about France at all, you know.
So if you're open-minded, you won't have much trouble.
No, I mean, it's always, at the end of the day, it's always about people, you know. So yeah, there are many things in France that got me like really mad, you know. But I can't say anything wrong right now. Okay, like something's bad back home, something's bad here, something's bad in France. Everywhere you got pros and cons, that's normal. I mean, Yeah, it was like I could saw it right away. Like it's different than way of like living the life in Slovakia.
And what about Lithuania? Was it any different?
It's gotta say that it's like this is more similar to Slovakia. I guess like all just with the roots and stuff, you know, like we're pretty much Eastern countries. You know, I saw the difference there. That was like Western. You know, like, you saw it. There was like things were more modern there, and yeah, like they just live like their that Western way of living. Here I didn't see that much differences in the beginning as in France. It's more similar to Slovakia, even with like people, the way people think and live their life.
So, did you face any problems, and are you still facing them after moving to Lithuania?
I didn't face any big trouble, can't say. I mean, it's always hard with the language, you know. Especially like here I'm like surprised positively that most of the people speak English pretty well here, so you can get around without any problem.
Did they not speak a lot of French?
I had many problems in France because of they just majority of people doesn't speak English, and even if they do, they don't want to that much. You know, I just that's just French English relationship. I don't care about it. You know, but it was like for me it was kind of hard. So yeah, like they don't speak English that much over there. Here it's totally okay here. I didn't have any trouble with that.
That's very actually interesting because I'd assume that France would speak more English than Lithuania, at least from what we've seen. But
No, I realized that right away. I mean, wherever you go, there's going to be someone who doesn't speak English, and you need someone. It's always 50-50 if you speak if he speaks or no.
And did you learn any French or Lithuanian?
Lithuanian, no. I mean, anyway, it was 3 years in France, you know, so I got 3 years to learn something. I never tried to, like, I was never learning and focusing on that, but actually, many things are similar with English, so I get those connections, you know. But I don't have any connection with Slovakian or Lithuanian or English and Lithuanian, so I'm not catching anything here.
Yeah.
But those 3 years in French, I mean, like I can understand basics, I can speak basics, but that's all. I couldn't handle conversation in French.
Yeah, Lithuanian is a very difficult language. We can tell you that.
Yeah, so is French, and so is Slovakian. So, I mean, English is the most simple language I think there is. So,
Possibly. And moving on to a bit more serious questions. How do you think you balance your personal life and your career? Is it difficult?
I mean, if you like, it's been my whole life, you know. So I just don't think about it that way. It's normal for me since the day one. I just like, yeah, okay, you wake up, you go on the rink, you have practice, go on the gym, maybe you take care of your body, whatever, and then you got the afternoon where you just, you know, like you use it for your personal stuff. So of course you got games, you got a lot of traveling, but I mean, I like it. Like I get used to it. It's not a problem for me, and just like I said, I mean that's the way I've been living most of my life. So.
Okay. So as I already mentioned, I recently started playing hockey, and I'm finding it quite difficult to start. It's a very difficult sport, so I feel a lot of stress and pressure. Do you have any tips for young athletes?
I don't think I'm someone who should give advices, but I mean, just try not to think too much, you know. The more you think, the worse it gets. It's every time like that. Like just do what you want. Never think twice about things, you know. if something pops up in your mind, that's it. Like that's the right thing most of the time. The moment you start overthinking, you're just handcuffing yourself, and there comes that's when the stress comes, anxiety maybe. Yeah, enjoy what you do. Don't think about what's going to be after. I know it's easy to say for everyone. It's easy to hear. It's actually hard to do it. But it all starts there. I mean, the more you think, the worse your situation can get.
Okay, thank you very much. But have you experienced any bad team dynamics? Like a lot of young people who start a sport that they're very passionate about, they come to the team and maybe the team doesn't share the same thoughts about the sport and they get demotivated. What would you do?
Yeah, I mean, I guess this comes with age, because I haven't been like that since the beginning. But I had older teammates before that were like that already back then, and I couldn't understand it. But now I'm getting to get what they were thinking about. You can get frustrated when you see someone who's not working as hard as you are and who doesn't want to win as much as you do. Yeah, I mean, every team, every season, every game you're gonna have good moments, you're gonna have bad moments, you're gonna be on fire, you're gonna be in a slump. That's normal. But you just have to make sure you're trying your best, because that's the only way out of the slump, actually. You're not gonna get out of slump just complaining and crying. No, man up and do your job. And yeah, you can get frustrated when people just don't care, why they are there after, what's the point of you being here if you don't want to do it?
So as long as you maintain your passion, you can mostly power
I
forward.
mean, I think that's the number one thing, at first you have to want to do what you do. Then you can actually develop and build something on it. So if you don't care about stuff you are doing, you wouldn't care if it just, it just goes away. You wouldn't care about it. If you care about building something, then you actually can build something.
Okay. So since our interview is coming to an end, we'd like to ask you one final question. If you had to say something to someone who's on the verge of giving up on their sports dreams, what would you say?
Don't give up. I mean, it's hard. I've been in those situations. I've been thinking a lot about my career. Where am I? Where I want to be? I mean, the moment you stop believing, you're gone. That's it. I mean, sometimes you're gonna have the trouble to get up from your bed, and because you're gonna question yourself, why? What's the purpose of it? Don't dreams. I think even if the day one, everybody started with day one, and right now there are millionaires, world champions, whatever. You have to start somewhere, and it starts with a dream, actually, with your vision. So that's it. Never stop dreaming, even if you think it, you may never get it, but you still can have a dream and work on it.
So thank you much for your ideas, and
thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you for coming, first of all.
Thanks.
And I hope you have a great day.